incidents involving officers. Let's go to Selma, Alabama. An ambush attack there.
Ambush. You don't know all the ins and outs of that. This just happened like the 27th, I think. They're still investigating. But you had a young officer, young African American officer, saw his picture, and the guy that killed him was arrested. The guy that killed him, who was a high school football standout. The alleged killer was a high school football standout in the area. The officer had gone home to eat, to have dinner with wife or fiance. I think it was his fiance. Anyway, the guy ambushed in his home, shot from outside in through the home, killed him, and wounded the lady.
They're related. They
don't know.
Don't know yet.
Don't know. You know, and it could be who knows, man. Right. It could have been something with the sports thing. They brought the sports angle up, or could have been. You just don't know, Steve.
Okay.
You can't get inside those folks' head.
Well, that was Selma, Alabama, so that's a case to follow. Then we go to Aurora, Colorado, and there have been officers arrested there. So
yeah.
Flips. What's this?
That's kind of a different thing there. There's one reason we put it in there, Steve. There's an arrest going on. It's two officers, a male and a female officer, and what they're saying is that the arresting officer, the male arresting officer, they say he put the guy in the chokehold, because that's the big go-to word now is chokehold, and that he hit him with his pistol, and he threatened to kill him. Well, if you're fighting the guy you're trying to arrest, as I've said many times, Steve, if you're wearing a gun and you get in a physical confrontation, you're in a fight for your life. Because if they get your gun, they'll kill you. Okay? And, threatening to kill him.
So your reaction is?
My reaction is, I don't know. I'd have to hear more about it. The chief police said it's just terrible. And it may be. I hadn't seen a video or anything. But the main thing that I found interesting about this, or unusual, we'll say, the other officer, the female officer, she was arrested for not intervening. That's the first time I've heard of one of those. Yeah.
So we got both arrested, one for reportedly abusing someone in his custody.
Right.
And she's arrested as an adjoining officer because she did not step in to try to prevent this or to stop this.
That's right. And that's the first one of those that I've heard. We knew that was going to, or we felt like it was going to come after George Floyd.
Right.
And we talked about that the first day, that those guys said that they needed to do something. And they started passing some laws. This is the first one I've heard of that they arrested.
Jimmy, if you're in those situations and there's a chain of command within the department, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you get into this situation with military stories and everything else, right? It's just like, so what is my job at this point? I'm the low man on the totem pole. Is my job to go up to this sergeant, this captain, this lieutenant, and say, hey, I know that we should be doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good question. And they're all kind of human inner dynamics that go on there just like it does. It would be like if Brad McCoy was sitting in the chair next to you, would you call him down over something he said on the radio? It's a hard call to make, isn't it?
It's not my job. That's it, if there's somebody directing programs, whatever. Now, as a friend, I might go say, Brad.
Okay, here's what I'm talking. Here's what they're telling these police to do.
Yeah, but you're talking. You're my police partner, and you're doing this, and I'm thinking,
Stop.
Officer Leach, we don't need to be doing this. You don't need to be doing that.
Right.
So am I supposed to stop you or arrest you? What am I supposed to do?
And it's all going to happen in about 15 or 20 seconds, probably. You got to make a decision. A minute's a long time to fight. They usually don't go on much longer than that.
Do you know the exact charge that she faces?
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't write it down.
But this is a new element in this.
Yeah, it
was your obligation to stop this.
Right. It's the first time that I've heard of it, and it's
been
really
arrested
going
and charged.
And it's really going to be tough. I don't disagree that there needs to be something there, but boy, it's going to be hard to articulate, hard to enforce.
Keep your eye on this case in Aurora, Colorado.
Yeah.
Aurora, Colorado. Well, the sheriff from out west is back in the news.
Joe Arpaio. Joe
he lost his re-election bid, I guess.
He got beat. He was Buford Puster Memorial Officer of the Year one year. David Woolfolk, when he was sheriff, went and picked him up at the airport in Nashville, brought him down. He said he was the principal guy I talked to. Yeah.
Well, he ran for sheriff again in his home county and did not win, but he's still active politically out there. So what's going on here? He's in Philadelphia. He has sued his organization.
His organization. He's created an organization. The name of it escapes me. It doesn't matter. But he's created this organization, and this is in the suit. I'm reading from the article that came from the suit that they filed. filed a suit in Philadelphia because they fired some officers over some social media comments.
All right. Okay.
Okay, and they were anti-Semitic and homophobic, I believe
Okay.
is the
Right.
term.
Okay.
Anyway, supposedly the way it reads, there's an organization here in Philadelphia that does nothing but monitor police social media comments and puts them together, catalogs them,
All right.
and reports them. And these guys got fired over it. And the suit says a few things. Says, okay, you violated their rights to say what they want to say.
Freedom of speech.
Yeah, and then I think they came in with some kind of like a search and seizure type issue.
Right.
And then they came in with a discrimination part of the suit. They said, look, these guys are white, but there's black officers there. They've said the same thing, done the same thing. That's happened to them. So, that's kind of a new deal. I hadn't seen that before either, so we'll see where that goes.
So the intent of this organization is to protect officers from illegal action by their departments?
But the one Arpaio's got?
Yeah.
I guess. This, to my knowledge, is the first thing they've done is this right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So keep your eye on.
But, Joe is not shy.
No, he's not.
He's not shy.
Okay, so keep your eye on this one. That's in the city of Philadelphia. What is this federal violence prevention and elimination?
Okay, it's a Viper program, and we're going to see what it is.
Okay.
They have. We had something similar to this. You remember we talked about this last year in Kansas City and I think 3 other cities, and concentrated on gun violence and this and that. And the feds came in, and they were very successful, I thought.
Right.
They came into Rochester, and one thing that happened in Rochester, they had a meeting to announce it. I think the U.S. Attorney may have come in to do it. It's feds coming in to help.
Right. Okay.
Rochester in 2021 has had over 200 shootings and 30 people killed, which is a lot for them.
Okay.
Terrible increase. Anyway, he came in and was making a press release, and in the words of the people that wrote the article, it turned into a town hall meeting. And people were saying, we don't need you to come in here and take up our guns. What we need is more social programs, and we need more help out here and understand these people, and we need more love.
Okay.
And he says, we're going to give you that and maybe some more. And we'll just have to see what happens. They didn't really release they're saying, of course, the administration is big on gun crimes. They're saying it's all about gun crimes. So we're going to see.
Okay.
It typically seems something like this with feds
So
come in.
this was an organized response. Obviously, people just didn't have people walking around.
Yeah, no,
they knew he was going to be there, knew what was up, so they showed up.
That's
Okay.
what it sounded like, Steve.
Okay.
And if they come in and say, we got some resources, we're willing to help you. What do you need? And let us work with you.
Right.
If they just come in and say, we're going to do this and do this and this, a lot of times the locals have a resistance to that.
Right.
So we'll see what happens.
You've been on both
Hope it
sides.
does good.
You've been on both sides.
I have, certainly have. Yeah, certainly have. There's ways to do it, and there's ways,
Yeah.
and then there's other ways.
Just at least we don't need you here. We got
Yeah, we'll call you if we need you.
I'm the sheriff here. We're going to take care of this.
Yeah, like Warden of the prison at Fort Pillow told me when he said, Mr. Leach, would you like a cup of coffee? And I said, I'd love a cup of coffee. He sent me over there to do some things that I didn't want to do anyway. He was a great fellow. I really came to be a good friend. He said, you like, I said, I'd love a cup of coffee.
Okay, so because we don't need you here to begin with.
Yeah, he said, I need to call Nashville. I said, yes, sir, you should.
Best thing you can sit here till I get verified as to exactly what you're here to do. And whether or not I want that
Yeah,
done.
we were together with that, buddy.
This is my town, this is my county. All right, well, it's an interesting time. We'll see where it goes from here.
Yeah.
Jimmy Leach, the investigator, right here at 93.1 and 101.5 FM. All this is posted on Tennessee Underground and at tugnews.com. So find that, like us, and we'll share the moment.
Right.
What about the show Saturday?
Our show Saturday? We had a power failure, I believe, this past Saturday. So they said they played. That's what they tell me. They just tell me. All I know is they don't play my show, Steve. I don't know.
Yeah, if it's a tech issue, it's going to happen to Grace Media.
Yeah, and especially to your alternative programming. And but Richard Barber's going to be. We're going to play Richard. They said we played last week, but it didn't get out. So we're going to try Richard again this week. And really, that was a great interview. People really enjoyed it.
Richard Barber is the executive director of the Asthma Recovery Community. So
Something we all need to hear about too,
Okay,
Steve. Can
okay.
strike any family at any time.
all right, and it has many. That's all they do with it. Jim, it's always good to see you.
You too, Steve.
Jimmy Leach, the investigator. Steve Bowers, View, and Eddie Holmes says, be careful of this